Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Archangel Michael, your morning star, Mr. Michael John Sylvia. That's me. Hi. So, I am continuing another program here for our late Mr. Aaron Hernandez. A Mr. Hernandez, AMH. He's my ham. Sam, I am. All right, so I love my mother. You know, he loved his mother no matter how it sounded over the phone when he was in jail because, had he been in better circumstances and better train of thought, I'm sure him and his mom would have had a better conversation if the environment would let it happen. So anyways, this is for Terry Hernandez, his mother, born on 420. Happy 420. Ooh, that sounds like a helicopter. Sounds like a big helicopter, don't it? Helicopter over my head. So, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, coffee and marijuana. Cam. And you know why I say that? Cam, coffee, and marijuana. Because for me, in my world, and my world of shamanism and the paranormal, coffee and marijuana. Cam. That's the good spell. Here's the bad spell. You ready for this one? Here it goes. All right, here we go. C for Carlos Ortiz. A for Alexander Bradley. And then the E becomes an M, like E equals MC squared, for Ernest. C-A-M, Cam. That's the bad spell. That's the three stooges you don't want. Ernest, Alexander, and Carlos. But anyways, we're going to go into those. Hold on. We'll go into the three stooges in a little bit. Aren't they all locked up in jail where they belong? Good. Here's one to justice so far. So, let's get into the paranormal. One more thing, I gotta bring Cam up one more time. Remember when we all lost the great Tom Brady? When he went to Florida, where he got his first murder, allegedly. And Tom Brady, Mr. Tom Brady, was a fine, amazing beyond words. You can easily say is a role model for children, right? So when children are growing up and they see a guy like Tom Brady, who loves his dad, loves his family, he plays the sport to win, he's a football player, he's American, he salutes the flag, and everyone wants to hate on that shit. Must be too much hate in their hearts. Jealousy. But then he gets two tight ends, He gets two of the best, the two greatest tight end duo you've ever seen. Gronkowski, Hernandez, GH. And those two boys, at the time, we can call them boys because they were fresh out of college, right? That those men kicked fucking ass. Surgeries and all. Not everybody can do that. I know I can't. I tell you what, I can't be Mr. Rob Gronkowski and go through back surgeries and leg surgeries and all the other stuff that they don't talk about so that he can get suited up and entertain the people in a game that we all love, the American sport called football. American sport. It's where it was invented. It's what it is. And even the people playing it love it. They just want more protection, which I don't blame them. Because no one wants to end up like Aaron Hernandez. Or Mike Vick. Set up with dogs and shit. Or how about this? How about this one? Here's another setup. This one fucked me. This one fucks with my head still today. On how players aren't always getting the protection they need from the people that are supposed to protect them. I'll give you an example. Michael Sylvia, myself, will give you a shout out to one guy who got kicked out of the NFL. What was his name? Michael Shanahan? Well, Michael Shanahan had a really good quarterback. RG3. I'll tell you guys what, I didn't follow RG3 that well, but when I did, I'll tell you what, he's got a handsome smile. He treats his family good, treats his girl good, wants to be a positive role model for, well, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, the Redskins. So the Redskins, isn't that funny? We have a red jersey back here, but anyways, color red, who gives a shit? I got red sunglasses on. We get mad at that too? Shit. So you know what? Hey, you know what? There's red in the American flag. Oh my God. So anyways, Redskins. Washington, whatever the fuck you want to call them. So he was there. RG3. And mind you, yeah, he was a running quarterback. Running quarterbacks don't last as long. We get that. But let's just say RG3 is your player. Now, you know the guy is a special guy. He ain't a shitbag in any kind of way. Fuck, let's use him like a Tom Brady. That's basically what you have with RG3, a Tom Brady in fucking Virginia. And nobody saw it because all they saw was black. Guaranteed it. I hate to say it, I hate to think it, but what the fuck, huh? So Michael Shanahan, and I know you're going to say, I'm not racist, I'm not saying that, but for whatever reasons, be known, when you realized your player was hurt, say his knees were getting shot, and he had to wrap his knees up more, RG3. And you would think that the coach should be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to blow out my fucking quarterback so that he has no fucking career. So why don't we rest him and then put the other guy out there, and when he rests, right? And we play with the other quarterback, the backup, and however that works out, then we put him back out there when his knees are all healed up, and then we'll have a bigger, badder monster player because guess what? He's healed up and he's got experience, and he's a good fucking guy, in every fucking way possible, just like Tom Brady. But you know what? They couldn't see that, could they? Couldn't rest him. Had to keep playing him and playing him and playing him and putting him in fucking positions where it's like, wow, dude. You really are trying to blow that guy's fucking knees out, aren't you? You fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Go back to college. Go rig that shit. The fuck? That's how I feel about that. You want to know how I feel about the NFL? I love the NFL. Gave me sanity when I was in the hole in federal prison. Listening to the perfect game. The perfect season, even though we lost to the Giants. But you know what? God bless people in heaven and people in hell. God bless Sonny. He loved the Giants. So, am I mad that the Giants won? No. Rather the Patriots won, but it's an NFL game. So, yeah, RG3 getting played out like a stooge by a shit coach. What else we got? And I'm not trying to go down a damn bandwagon. We're getting Aaron Hernandez. And don't forget Mike Vick. Mike Vick gets sent to federal prison in Atlanta, Georgia. Because he had a bunch of phony friends around him. Oh, they're just friends from the past. Yeah, what else is that? Yeah, because there's more to it. Come on, you sent them there, didn't you? You sent those friends to him, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Come on, guys. Somebody admit that shit, because that's what goes on here. All right. So Mike Vick got robbed of his fucking career, too, on that stupid shit. Good scam, guys. We got a bigger scam than those two combined, which is really fucked up. You think those two are fucked up? To me, those two are fucked up. But now let's get to Aaron Hernandez. All right. Before I get started, one more time. You know who loved marijuana? That man right there. And I know it because I was in Rhode Island. He was in, where I was living in Rhode Island, he's in the next town over in Attleboro, Massachusetts. That's how close we are. You feel what I'm saying? Feel what I'm saying? Paranormal experience, baby. 2012 Mayan calendar coming to you. Here comes the story. I also want to be entertaining because, that's what, you gotta have fun in life. All right, so here we go. Let me start off with this real quick. 4 suicide notes. FS, final solution, 4 suicide notes in. So all I gotta say about this, I haven't gotten deep into those, but what I have seen, and then what I'm hearing from his girl, which you should listen to because she knows him better. He called me Shay. There's a lot to these things. You don't think that's enough? Well, I'll tell you what. Any man who's been with a girl long enough, they know each other pretty goddamn good. You can't deny that shit. Even if there is a gay secret, that ain't enough for me to fucking think that she don't know him. I'm not being sold on that. 4 suicide notes. Yeah, that's a great idea. The day before his mom's birthday. For real. And then we're going to talk about laws and don't forget the timing of everyone's at the White House when this shit happens, right? That's when they get the message. Come on, guys. Let's be real with this shit. A message is a message. So, Aaron Hernandez, a good man, solid guy, loves his family, manipulated out of his family, manipulated out of his father, manipulated out of his daughter, manipulated out of his career, manipulated out of his own mind. Literally. MKULTRA to the gore. Imagine that shit. Not just him. Whole New England's getting attacked in all kinds of ways. Fucked up, ain't it? Sucks how we have to find out down the road, but at least we get to figure it out, so he gives you a figure of what to do next. Which would be the better road, I hope. Because who wants to sell out every goddamn player like that guy? I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't want him. Makes no sense to me. You want to talk about Deflategate? Let's talk about this shit. Here we go. So, it gets paranormal, but you gotta hear it out. So, let's talk about 2013. The number 13, 2013. On 6/17. So, 6/17 is 1917. 2/13. You get the 3 plus 1, you get 4, then you get the 2/0, you get 4/20. 1917, 4/20. That's the day that Odin Lloyd died. So there's those numbers. And then you've got the fact that, okay, we're going to get to the 2012, but on the 2013 murder, just think about the sanity of this shit. The remote controlism of it all. That whole controlled environment to make that murder happen, because that's what you're looking at. So since that's the case, you mean to tell me that guy was controlling all that shit? Fuck out of here. He didn't have no fucking computer lab in front of him with a bunch of units fucking telling him what to do. That was everybody else. With Ernest and Ortiz. E equals M for Ernest, O for Ortiz. Military operation from somewhere. That's pretty fucked up. But you know what? It is what it is. So they get him high on PCP. PCP, like Chinese party. Angel Dust. Okay. And then we've got Ernest Wallace is typically really a drone if you think about it. He was in this guy's fucking house living in it. So Ernest Wallace was living in Hernandez's house in the basement. He was living in the basement? Oh shit. That's interesting. I've lived in the basement before. I like that. So I don't like it, but it's like we got Ernest Wallace. He's a mole. He's a drone. He's all over. He's depending on Hernandez financially and everything. He's thrown in there. Hernandez don't even know it. Hernandez is in on top of all this shit. He doesn't know this stuff back then. He's less than 27 years old, then I'm 27. There's people figuring this shit out now. And people back then that may have understood it. I mean, who are you going to talk to about it? You just keep that shit to yourself, right? Because it's too big, too much of a hassle to deal with. So, you get the fears. But we got to go into Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz. So Carlos Ortiz is in the BMW with Ernest Wallace, Aaron Hernandez, and Odin Lloyd. Now, according to Ortiz, he looks a little stressed out in his pictures, by the way. And whenever I see Wallace, he's just staring at a fucking paper, not looking at anybody else, really. And then when he, just like, I don't know. So anyways, basically, Ortiz has two statements. His first statement was, Wallace got out of it. I'm going to play it out how I think it. I think they all got out of the fucking vehicle together, personally. That's what I think. And then let's go into what Ortiz said. Ortiz says, hey, my first statement is Wallace, not me, guys, because I stayed in the car, because I am a pussy. I stayed in the car, man. Fuck that shit, man. Not me. I ain't like that. I ain't part of that crew, even though you're there for it. Not me, guy. And that's Ortiz. And Ortiz is like, it was Wallace. It was him. And it was Aaron. And it was Lloyd. It was them three. Those three amigos. Not us three amigos. Alexander and Ortiz and Wallace. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that he's saying that those three guys got out of the vehicle and he stayed in the vehicle. That was his first lie, because he never told the truth to begin with. And then he changes his statement. Of course, the other lawyer's getting mad as fuck. He's like, what do you mean you guys are going to accept this? You mean to tell me that now, all of a sudden, out of the fucking blue, now that people had more time to talk, that now Ortiz is now changing his statement saying that Wallace didn't step out of the vehicle? Huh. I wonder why. Is it because he's lying? Ooh, yeah, he is. So that's what it is. Let's just not fool ourselves here, right? Here's one from two Scorpios. ST Saints. That's Archangel Aaron, baby. That man sacrificed beyond his own comprehension. Deserves an answer. His family deserves that. People deserve that. The victims all deserve what really happened on all those days. And not blaming the dog. Hot dogs? Really? Is that what he is to some people, a hot dog? Wow. It's amazing how people think. But anyways, I know, hot dogs, right? I know. Isn't that fucked up? And people are like, what do you mean? Like, it's crazy out here, man. I'm just like, what the fuck? But anyways, there he is, chasing the dog around for the hunt. So, Aaron has a .45 Magnum. A 45 Magnum. 45 like 1945. And then, let me guess, they say that, because the, I'm not knocking any agents because I don't want to do that, and I don't do that, especially people doing good work. I don't ever want to fucking step on those toes, I would never want to do that, so please don't think that. But let's just move forward and say, listen, even no matter who it is, no matter how good you are, no matter how good your intentions are, let's just be honest here. When you're working a crime scene and you're checking out footprints and tire tracks, and you get rained out according to the information that's provided, because thunder was in the clouds, came down. So when you have to be hurried and you have to rush, not to be confused with Russians, but when you have to rush through that, unfortunately, we have to admit the facts. You can't collect everything when you don't have enough time. I'll tell you what, if I clean my apartment, or anyone, you test this to anybody, you get to clean your apartment 2 different days. One, say like it's to give you 20 minutes, and the next day we're going to give you 2 hours. And then both those times, you have to be completely busy. And I guarantee that in the longer time, you're going to find way more shit you never were going to find in the 20 minutes. It just is. And the 2 plus 2 is 420, and here we go. It's just true. Timing is everything. Setups are true. No matter how big, no matter how small. So then we have Ortiz lying through his fucking teeth. Doesn't know who got out of the vehicle, who didn't. Apparently he says he didn't. But we have Aaron Hernandez's footprint, all right. That's all we fucking focused on. So let me get this straight. Aaron Hernandez gets it in his brain, hypnotically, by the way, not all on his own, to say, hey, I got a great idea. I'm mad now. They finally know how to make me pop once again. So text this, text that. We all get in the BMW. We go down a mile away from my house. Aaron Hernandez, let me get this straight. In 2013, you guys decided to just go around behind your house a mile away and get your friend that you are related to, who works on the same field as you. Let me get this straight. And also, you killed him military style with a 45. Like we're starting off World War III over here. So it's like, okay. Meanwhile, around the same time, Robert Kraft went to Russia, and he's like, hey, guys, Russia's nice over here. Hey, Mr. Putin. Mr. Putin's gonna see his ring. I could kill somebody with this ring. And walks away. So that's what that shit is to me. Maybe I'm reading into it too deep, but I don't think so. In fact, I'm going to show you this. Wallace purchased a .22 gun in Florida. Well, I mean, I'll give you a paranormal experience if you want. He purchased a .22. That's funny because when I went to federal prison, I had a .22 gun. It was a revolver with 8 ounces of coke and 6 ounces of weed. That's what my crime was. But, I'm not going to get into that shit. Let's get into this one. Wallace buys a gun in Florida. Florida? You mean the Florida where he had a red light? Red light in Florida, red light in Boston. Okay. So somebody likes to put the same setup on him all over again. Ouch. So the United States of America isn't designed like that. It ain't supposed to be a big, what do you call that game when you were a kid? mousetrap with the psychology involved and handing him the friends and the gun and getting him in the car and macking him. Wow, man, I mean, that is what it is. PCP? Hey, Wallace, do you really think that guy needs PCP? You guys gonna try and tell me he said it first? Well, how'd it come out of his lips? Who's hacking his fucking brain and taking him out of order from who he really is? A good-natured man. So, it is what it is. So that's how I'm looking at that. And by the way, let's just look at the 27 Club, because we all love the 27 Club, folks. It's all over the internet. It ain't like no one knows what it is. Right? Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin. So then let's look at the 27 Club for the Patriot players. Hernandez, 27, murdered. Lloyd, 27, murdered. So Wallace used to sleep in the basement? Okay. It's interesting. There's a lot of interesting things to consider here when you really want to understand the details. That's based on your level. Footsteps, final solution. It is what it is. 1 year later, after 2012, at a red light, Alexander Bradley. Alexander Bradley. Yeah, shot in the face. What's that all about? His father punched somebody at a game. Everyone arguing about the kids. And then this guy is punching a guy at the swamp. Red light, red light. Simulations. Are we living a simulation? Why would you want to put him through a simulation like that? So anyways, I'm going to slowly put this over the screen so you can see this. And again, this is again, you're interested in the paranormal, then here it is. All right. You know what you got. It's all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but it's all systematic. SM, systematic. Sign Lloyd, 27s. The math. Carlos Ortiz. So I'm looking at Ernest Wallace as a squatter. So that's 2013 murder. A year after the 2012. Come on. You can't look at the behavior as like, oh, the guy didn't just go crazy, folks. Sir, ma'am, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't just go crazy. That's orchestrated shit. You think he sat down like me and did a paranormal experience and say, hey, let's go do this shit? Or how about this? He just sat down with a whole unit of motherfuckers, was like, okay, let's see how we can get this down like this. Death cult shit. So I highly doubt he was thinking about all this, and someone else was, and got him involved in that. And those are your connections. So in my eyes, I look at him and be like, you know what? That's way out of his control, folks. I don't care. You psychologically evaluated him and triggered him into becoming a murderer on purpose. That's not him. Someone else did that. People did that. And then you wonder why the rest of America is in fucking chaos all the time. when shit like that's going unnoticed. And then some gay boy comes out of prison like, yeah, I told him we should call him AAA, AAA, like the battery, artificial intelligence. Maybe that's not what he was thinking, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is what we've got going on. Bunch of stupid lies. And he said another body, according to you, with the British lawyer and the good fucking book, and you just trailing off being a fucking rabbit trail on this stupid shit that just ends up being a fucking lie anyway. So look, then they're like, but what about gay? Dude, I don't care about that. Don't care. Do I really think he was gay? I'm not. Obviously, he was into women 100% more than men. That's for goddamn sure. And if Mr. Hernandez had any type of psychological destruction of being gay or not, I'd have to think that because the man was sexually abused as a child, that maybe all that did was confuse him, rather than make him say, hey, I'm just a gay guy. He's got a daughter and a fucking girlfriend, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, sir, I'm not trying to, it's very upsetting. I'm sorry. So, Alexander Bradley, 2012. 2012, something good happened. His daughter was born. So, yeah. I'll tell you what, probably moving forward, messing with that family would be a pretty bad idea, considering things coming forward, right? That's my opinion. But here we go. We got 2013 MKULTRA murder, 2013. Where's the other one? We got 2012 written down here. Please bear with me. Yes, I never wrote it down. All right, so here we go. I got a lot of it memorized anyway, so what difference does it make? So, Alexander Bradley, listen, he's out of Connecticut, just like Hernandez, right? So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? Kind of like when the apple fell on Isaac Newton's head and he saw the light and explained the light. Same type of shit. Alexander Bradley. Guns and tainted bad street weed. Let's just face it. Oh, by the way, when he was in prison, right? Rumors got out. We always got to listen to rumors, of course. You know how we are with that shit. Rumors circulated that he was doing synthetic marijuana, and at times he was. That's all he could get. Hey, listen, guy loves pot. We already know this. You know that if synthetic marijuana got to him, he's going to smoke it. He likes marijuana. Does he want the synthetic marijuana if he has education? No, but, I want to fucking have a little high. Who doesn't like a little 420? So, come to find out, after his autopsy, rumors aren't even real. No synthetic marijuana in his bloodstream whatsoever. So, I don't know what everyone's listening to out here, but got a lot of moviegoers, huh? Moviegoers. I mean, this is 6 years later, this guy. We haven't even talked about Anthony Bourdain. We'll get into that once we're all set with Aaron Hernandez. Anthony Michael Bourdain. And the same country where you find Jim Morrison. Massachusetts, boys. We all have something in common in New England, don't we? So, this is what it is. So, well, that's what our good Belichick says. All right, so how are we going to do this? So, yeah, 2012, they're in the car, the shooting happens, red light, Shaman Street. It's all staged. It's all staged. All of it, every single fucking murder staged. Guy's hypnotized. Everything's around him. Because that's how they were able to work him. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's worked differently. That's how they worked him. MKULTRA murdered Aaron Hernandez from beginning to the end. I mean, hell, you can call me a conspiracy theory if you want. Kind of am, but at the end of the day, you're going to find more truth at the end of this tunnel. So, rabbit holes, black holes, shit. Alexander Bradley. Another player that got shit on. And I know people ain't gonna, a lot of people don't agree with me on this, but it's like, man, like, I really wish you'd take a step back and really reanalyze just a few things to see maybe you were missing something here. Because that happens. Shit. I'm an idiot. That's for sure. And there's smart people the same way. Haven't you watched a movie? You watched it the first time, and great movie. You watch it 5 more times. Every time, if you're paying attention enough, you're always gonna find more shit you never saw the first time. Kind of like analyzing footsteps with enough time available to do it before people change their statements so that they can formulate that into what it is today. That's some satanic shit. So, what do we got? Yeah, Alexander Bradley. Okay, yeah, here's the player I was going to talk about. Antonio Brown. Why not look into him the same way? I mean, let's look at it. He came from a town that nobody does good in, apparently. Like, it's just a bad place he came from. Wouldn't it be nice had he gotten the treatment all along the way and not be MKUltra'd into stupid shit and saying stupid shit? And that's respect to him. I loved Antonio Brown. I love him. I'm defending him. I'm saying, listen, it's like this. It's like he came from an area where there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. That's beyond his control. And people are hypnotizing him. That's beyond. I mean, what are you gonna do? So he gets a big hit on the field. Brain trauma, right? They call it the hit, Antonio Brown hit. I can't remember what team it was at this moment, but yeah, ain't that crazy? Can't remember shit. So anyways, long story short, he comes to New England. There's allegations against him. That's fucked. What's going on there? Oh, wait a minute. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than these players, isn't there? Yep, every single time. There would be some players are just being abused subliminally, and nobody's taking any credit for it. So, look, what we got here is Antonio Brown gets kicked off the Patriots. I mean, New England was going through some tough times. Cam Newton came in and gave us a good season, 7-9, 7 wins, 9 losses. Didn't go to the Super Bowl, but hey, We don't care about that. I mean, I do, but like, look, it wasn't he a good role model the whole time? But no, people want to worry about Super Bowl and call him sideshow Bob or whatever. So it's just, I don't know, the thinking. So Antonio Brown goes with Tom Brady. He lives with Tom Brady. Goes to Florida. Tom Brady decides to go to Florida. Goes to a stacked team. Stacked. Right? And wins the Super Bowl. Now, the second season comes up. I'm willing to bet you, in my opinion, that would have been Super Bowl number 2 ring. But something occurred. Let me explain. It's a paranormal experience here. And we are experiencing the paranormal. Is that Antonio Brown, all right, he just won. Okay, check this out before I go into the second season. Tom Brady goes down there, the stacked team, but he brought 2 players with him. He brought Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown, 2 fantastic players. Each one got a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Both of them got a touchdown pass, equally earning Super Bowl rings 100% because that man came ready and charged. Tom Brady, the GOAT. Okay, and then the next season, okay, this is what your team is worth now. All right, so you got to hold it together. It takes whatever it takes. So in my opinion, I'm thinking if Antonio Brown's on my team, maybe we should give him some medical care. Even if he doesn't ask for it, just give it to him just in case, because if we keep him in line, we got Super Bowl number 2 coming, and I can tell you what, he's been through a lot. I haven't been in his shoes, but hey, the guy's giving us his all, dude. What else do you want? He can't give you much more than that. There's nothing else to give. He's giving you everything. Fuck, everything. He's there. He's playing. Ring. Here we are. Second season. So second season pops up, and Antonio Brown is asked to play by the head coach. No disrespect to the head coach, by the way, or anybody. It's just oversight. People can't, it's oversight. People ain't seeing shit the same. You know what I mean? And when you can't see shit the same, you're not communicating. And you can't communicate, then, things fall apart. Just as it did. So, Antonio Brown, hey, it's time for you to come up. Even though he was cleared. And he does have an ankle problem. My ankle hurts. My ankle hurts. And I got to say, this is how I interpreted that. From Antonio Brown to Alexander Bradley. My ankle hurts. Mr. Aaron Hernandez. You know what I mean? So, who knows? Paranormal experience there, who knows? But let's go beyond that. You find things out later in life. What really went on at that time. In that scene with Antonio Brown and taking his shirt off. But anyways. So Antonio Brown really had, in fact, I guess from what we're hearing, he actually needs surgery. So it's not like the guy's lying. He's telling you the truth. Hey, my ankle hurts. Even need surgery. Maybe even too proud to mention that. Who knows? Whatever the reason. So, so then the head coach tells him, get off the field. Get out of here. Basically like that. Get off the field. So he gets off the field, takes his shirt off, throws it out there. You see the look on his face. The guy's like, gives everyone a piece. He didn't give anyone the finger with blood on it. He gave him the peace sign. Like, doing what I can, folks. I'm out. Doing all I can out here. Nobody understands me. I guess, whatever. He's thinking, man. He's doing the best he can out there, So he leaves the field and they fire him. In my opinion, it's like, by the way, the rest of the season goes like this without him. They get to the very last game to the Super Bowl, and they go against the Rams with Matt Stafford. They lose in overtime to Matt Stafford and the Lions. I'm sorry, Matt Stafford and the Rams. Sorry, the winning team, not the losing team. Team that wants to win. So the Rams won against the Buccaneers. Why? Well, have you ever had an engine and have one cylinder missing in it? An auto mechanic, and anyone answer that question? Hey, you ever had an engine, fully loaded engine? How would you like for me to take one of your cylinders out of that for you? Would you like that? How does that feel? Would you drive your car around like that and expect to win a race? You can't. There's a cylinder missing. So had they left Antonio Brown in there, in my opinion, my humble opinion, by the way, that one more guy could have got the Buccaneers into the goddamn Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, and that would have been that 2 rings. So, what do? Well, that's why I love President Jimmy Carter. He says, I love tending to mental health, because when you do that, you get more. When you don't, you get less. You tend to your players' health, you get more production, you get less. They walk up the field, they get killed, they get MKULTRA, they get guns. It's like, I know y'all gonna look at them and be like, oh no, it's just them. Yeah, well, you know what? Since it's not really that way, we can't say that, can we? So let's just move on. Say, let's just not do that shit no more, please. For the future. For children. For these things not to happen. And whatever it takes. I wanted to play football when I was a kid. When I was in Virginia. When I was a kid. You know what the school team was? Redskins. I was like, I want to play. Mom was like, nope. I want to be honest with you. Which I've always been here, right here. Anyways, but here we go. My mom, I didn't like what she said to me at the time about that, but now I'm glad she said no. I love my mother. She's my protector. She gave me life. And God bless Mom. God bless Aaron's mom, too. Happy 420, folks. Ladies and gentlemen. .316 on his forehead. 31-9 score. Whatever happened in there, people know what happened. Ain't no secret. So there's the message from Michael. Michael, your messenger. It's no secret what happened with him. You heard it from me. You don't have to believe it. You can continue. Other people can continue that other stuff. But where does that lead? That's a shame. And I'm going to close out like this. I really thought in my life that, wow, people just been brave. We all just been out here just been fucking comatose our whole lives. That's fucked up. But at the end of the day, since we're woke, and that's good, in a good way, with pennies and quarters facing the same way as they should anyways, I'll tell you what. God bless Mr. Aaron Hernandez. Mr. Aaron Hernandez. My ankle hurts. So, people want to pick apart my words. You can. But that's all that is. We know what we're saying is true. So, rest in peace to all his victims. In fact, that's what I'll do. We'll do it. do a thing for all his victims. You know, we'll write them all down. I'll write them all down. And then that's just a shame that people want to be that satanic. Literally. But yeah, let me close it out like this. Is that with Tom Brady and the Patriots, Brewski and everybody, that's a lot of giving to New England. To everyone. No matter who you are in New England, you need to support your team. Because your team supports you. Just is. So when we figure out that after all that giving of Super Bowl wins and all that shit, that's what really happened, wow. Talk about a spoiled fucking apple. Rotten. Like Ortiz, rotten apple. With worms all inside of it. That's a fucking shame. And then everything else. But that's what it is, you know? Players are acting up. Figure it out, please. They're playing for you. Don't let people hack their brains. Don't ignore that. And that's what we're going to call it. Scorpion Crew. Scorpion Crew. Santo Cristo. Hey, Scorpio. Scorpio. You know, we were smoking the same weed back in the day, pretty much. You know, same shit. Illegal weed, tainted. I promise you, looking back on it, of course, all those weeds are tainted back then. That's like street marijuana. It's not like homegrown. Like there's just parts of this country where like you get some good bud, no matter if it's illegal or not. But it's not like that in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So people are using that kind of chemistry and not letting us know about it. I mean, that is what it is, right? It's like, we will stop there. Tainted pot on the streets. And it being synthetic too. Ugh. I'll always go to the stores. I'm glad they legalized it. Thank you, America, for legalizing marijuana. It does save lives. So, God bless America. God bless family. God bless mothers. God bless children. God bless men. You know, and I put some posts on my Facebook, you know. Grandma, Emily, Sylvia, Santa Cristo. William, Sylvia. Angel, William, Sylvia. W becomes an M. Angel, William, Sylvia, Sam. My grandfather from heaven. And on it goes. So we can do a spelling contest, but we can also, and I'm just joking around. It's a spelling contest. All right. Remember that? Doc Holiday? Let's do a spelling contest. Anyways, God bless you. Science is real. It's also in the Bible if you look for it, coded. Right? If you're open to it. So, and plus, I love science. Gotta love Einstein. You gotta love Sir Isaac Newton. Wow. I love you and have a wonderful day. Thank you for your day. Thank you for your time, actually. And God bless you.